Welcome to Art for Film's Sake. I'm Stephen Reed, and this is Ran by Yohey Horoshita. A great film poster isn't always a work of exquisite design, beautifully finished and nicely arranged. Sometimes it can be pure chaos. It can rage like a roaring tornado, pulsate with kinetic energy, bursting at the seams. A relentless assault on your senses, thrusting you deep into the eye of the storm. This is Hidetora, a warrior, a conqueror, a king. A man in total control of the land he rules. But even those with complete power will one day lose their grip. Akira Kurosawa's Ran, a title which literally translates as chaos, is a magnificent piece of cinema. It's a tale that follows firmly in the footsteps of Shakespeare's King Lear, but also treads its own path. Kurosawa doesn't give us the story of a great man whose pride drives him mad, but the story of a man who, having waged war all his life, now hopes to impose peace in his old age. A decision which unleashes even greater turmoil. There is much from King Lear you'll recognise. The old king who unwisely divides his kingdom into 3 parts and shares it amongst his offspring. There's a fool to keep the king company, and a loyal follower to shadow and protect him as he descends into madness. There is exile after his sons claim their father's troops to be unruly and disrespectful. And after descending into senility, he has a flash of insight and is able to apologize to one he has wronged. Certainly, the image of the crazed old man, cut loose from authority and lost in the wilderness, will remind you of Lear. But Kurosawa's film is very much its own tale. Where Shakespeare has King Lear at the very centre of the story, in Ran we often get the impression that life is hurtling past Hidetoro as he wanders from one tragedy to another, pushing in from the margins, bewildered. And Horoshita has captured that essence brilliantly. For one thing, he has placed the old king very much off-centre, struggling to retain control as the flames of chaos threaten to completely consume him. The way that robe transforms into the shape of white flames that intertwine with the red and orange fire is glorious. I love the way that hand reaches out towards us, a final and desperate attempt to regain control before those fiery forces overwhelm him. And despite the artist's terrifically raw drawing style, I think the likeness is incredibly accurate. Formed from just a few simple strokes, that pained expression on Hidetoro's face is incredibly powerful. It's as if the realization of what's happening has just dawned on the old king. He can feel those spears and banners, once under his command, now begin to close tightly around him, suffocating any chance of escape. And behind him is that wonderfully drawn 16th century Japanese castle. It collapses downwards and at the same time disintegrates upwards on the other side. It's another fantastic evocation of chaos. A huge man-made structure, the ultimate symbol of a king's strength and power, pulled apart by a much stronger force. And when you follow those pieces of masonry as they are sucked up into that swirling, acrid chimney of smoke and fire, you come to that simple white title. It sits there like a glowing moon in one of those classic Japanese ukiyo-e prints. Along with the colours and style that Horoshita has used here, it adds another really nice link to the era and setting of the film. But what is the significance of those moon-like titles? Does it hint at a peaceful ending for the old king? Maybe, maybe not. But as I stand back and take in this restless, visceral poster, almost unable to stop myself from being pulled in by its ferocious energy, it gives me hope that maybe, just maybe, after all the chaos, there comes peace.